Hi there, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cannon of the Gazette, and I'm joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champions, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Rick, the Canadiens have been having problems in their own zone. We've talked about it on bonus episodes and in the regular Hockey Inside Out Show during the season. Do they need a large, physical, Shea Weber-type of defenseman or Rick Green type of defenseman with a bit of a mean streak to clear out the front of the net and maybe put a little fear in the opposing forwards?
Well, I would love to see them respond a little more aggressively. I know the rules have changed and you can't push too hard because you're going to get a penalty for it, but I have a hard time watching the opposition stand in front and take 1, 2, 3 whacks at a loose puck and the defenseman basically giving him a little push or not, and not really moving them. And, I have a problem with, you can't allow guys to stand in front without physically trying to move them. And I don't see enough of that of the group. Xhekaj, of course, will do it. Struble will do it, but they need to do it as a group to make sure that, the opposition knows that you're going to get pushed out of there, and they need to respond as a group to be a little more physical in front of the net so they don't get 2 and 3 whacks at loose pucks.
It's changed a bit too, because now you'll see a guy screening the goalie and the defenseman doesn't even really deal with them, right? It's really changed. They Rick, back from when you played?
Well, I mean, our rule was we move the opposition to the outside so the goalie could see it. And that being said, we physically could not tackle guys, but we were allowed to move guys physically to keep them, on the perimeter. Now, forget it. They front the shot, hope it's going to hit them. The goalie can't see it, 99% of the time because of all the bodies in front. And that's one of the things in the game that I'm not a big fan of, as far as where they've eliminated a lot of the physical play in the defensive zone. I'm all for get rid of the hooking and the holding and all that stuff, but allow them a little more leeway in the defensive zone where they can physically use their size and strength to move guys out so that you're not taking a penalty for touching them on the hand or pushing them a little too hard, because it's not the way the game should be played. And it's tough to coach that. And the only way that obviously the D are responding to it is standing in front of maybe the shooting lane, and hopefully the puck will hit them because they're not able to move guys anymore physically from in front.
Well, Knuckles Habs do have a big, tough physical defenseman in Arber Xhekaj, but in and out of the lineup, he played one of the few guys who had a good game against Tampa, led the team with 5 hits, wasn't on the ice for any goals against, and he's a healthy scratch the next game. Gets back in lineup against the Flyers because of Mike Matheson's injury, but can you figure out what's going on with Arber, the way he's in and out in the lineup?
Honestly, I don't know. Listen, they're guarded when it comes to him. I think he plays guarded, like he's not free, I don't think. I think he may be in his head a little bit, be like, am I going to sit out? What do I have to do? I played a great game against Tampa. I'm out. They took him out against who? Edmonton? Why? Now, just looking at it from afar, they're probably worried about his ability to defend against a really high-powered offense team. Well, you're never going to know. The kid's never going to get confidence unless you put him out there and give him an opportunity to do it. And I just think sometimes he's in his head about it. He's in and out of the lineup. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with him. And, as far as the defensive play, man, you can only use your stick now to shoot and poke check. That's it. And that sucks. You should be able to cross-check a little more in front of the net, box guys out, be more physical in front of the net. They've taken that all away. They want goals. They want the pretty goals. Let's have the pretty goals. I love seeing that down in the trenches, dirty-ass, mean hockey. And you know what? It happens. You know when it happens? In the playoffs. And it just doesn't happen that much during the regular season. It doesn't.
Yeah, the rules change. I mean, we talked about it last week, Rick, and you were saying that you'd love to see Arber moved up to a top 4, maybe playing with Hudson, and then like the day after we taped that, he's a healthy scratch again. You must have been shaking your head a bit.
You can't play with the guy's mindset like that. I know I've been there. I've worked with guys, and you have to really be careful that you don't destroy some of their confidence. And the mental part of the game is huge. And I'm not totally sure that they're handling him in a way that it's going to help him develop into what we're hoping to see from him, because of the fear of making a mistake. And then because he makes a mistake or he's on for a goal, even though it wasn't necessarily his fault, he's the whipping boy that's going to pay the price for coming out. But it's a kind of guy that's got the character, and he has the ability to be a big part of that group back there. And I just am very concerned that they're not, handling him the right way and allowing him to develop, better than the way it's going right now for him.
It's got to be tough for him, Knuckles, mentally too, in and out, and wondering what I'm doing wrong. You wonder, did the Canadiens trade him at some point? I mean, I know Michael Andlauer, who owns the Ottawa Senators, also on the junior team that Arber played for, and is one of his biggest fans. He's a big reason why Arber even got invited to a rookie camp. You wonder, does he maybe offer sheet him or do something? So I can't imagine the Canadiens trading him within their division. But do you think Arber has a future here with the Canadiens?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. Honestly, just the way he's been handled. I would love to see it. I would love to see him stay here and develop and work with him. And he, north, south, he's good. East, west, does he need a little help with his feet in some position and stuff? Yeah, but you got to work with a guy like that. You got to work with him. I remember Lappy working with guys and helping guys, and even the veteran players, but there isn't many veterans around to help him. I mean, yeah, Mike Matheson, I get it, but yeah, he needs that help. And I don't know. I love that kid, and I just want to see him do well. I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad, and I get a little angry when I see him sat out. But again, the coach knows what he wants. The coach knows what's best for the team. So if it's having him out, I guess Marty knows, or Stefan Robideau knows.
Well, Rick, you were Stefan Robideau for the Canadiens for a long time. You coached the defense. If you were coaching Arber today, what would you be telling him?
Well, I think you have to stay on top of him and work really closely with him one-on-one, and make sure that you continue to highlight the type of things that he does well, and make sure that he executes at each and every shift that he's on the ice. And the last thing you want to have happen is a guy that tries to play beyond what he's capable of playing. And I think with a player like Xhekaj, he can be very effective on killing penalties. He can be very effective in critical situations and, last minute of play. I think that if given the opportunity, he has the type of character. Maybe it's not going to happen overnight, but you got to groom this guy, because he has the ability, I think, to make better decisions than bad ones. And the only way that he's going to achieve that is getting some ice time in critical situations and working with him to make sure that you're keeping tabs on what he does well, and build up his confidence, and his game will progress in the right way if you can get that mental part in place, which I don't think it's right now in the best scenario for him to become a better player.
Yeah, if they ever do trade him, I think the Canadiens will regret it, because there's not too many 6'4", 240-pound, mobile, tough defensemen in the league, and they have one now, and shake your head sometimes about the way they use them. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode. We'll have a couple more bonus episodes coming up over the next few days, so look for those. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And in case you didn't already know, Hockey Inside Out is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can look for us there also.